Welcome back to another episode of Obliterated Companion. You guys, I'm Peter. If you're tuning in for the first time, joining me, I have a guest. His dick might be the banana, but I have Johann Fitch. How you doing, sir?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
Good. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I don't think you're gonna get an introduction like that on other, outlets, but
Who
you know,
knows? Who
yeah,
knows
yeah.
at this point, right?
The show is pretty explicit. I want to get to know about you, but before we get into that, this is still within the week of the release of the show, right?
Mhm.
And currently is number one. It keeps kind of fluctuating with the Squid Game show, but what has reception been like for you from the fans, from friends and family who have seen you on the show?
Well, honestly, the reception has been wonderful. I am so blessed from the opportunity that I got, and everyone has been so kind. I have been getting some very funny DMs on my Instagram lately, for sure. My family, on their other hand, they kind of stop before some scenes, if you know what I mean. But they are very proud of me, and it's been great. It's been awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine what the DMs are looking like right now
Yeah,
after that scene.
yeah, it's definitely been interesting.
All right. So I saw a few things about you on the interwebs. You're born in Oklahoma,
No, I
right?
was born in Florida.
Florida, Florida. Okay. Where did I get Oklahoma from? Is that
I shot a feature film in Oklahoma. Maybe that could be it. I'm not really
that
sure.
could be it?
Yes,
But you grew up and were raised in Texas.
yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. So what part of Texas?
I am from Houston, Texas.
Okay. I
Yes.
was um I was not raised there, but I was born in Corpus Christi.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I still have family down there. And matter of fact, I'll be going to Corpus next spring for a wedding.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, I haven't been there for like 12 years, so yeah, it's been a minute, but that's my roots. So I am from Texas, but I grew up here in Portland, Oregon.
Very cool.
Um,
Did you go to college in
well,
Texas or just high school?
actually, I went to high school briefly in
Uh-huh.
Texas because I grew up in Portland, but I got sent away my junior year, and that's when I went to school in Texas just very briefly, and then I came back up on my own means. Yeah, got into some trouble, but we're not going to get into that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I still have family down there. That's why I'll be making a return soon. So, what brought you from Florida to Texas? Was that just like a parents moving job situation? I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I moved here, Houston, Texas, when I was 6 years old. So this is basically all I know. But my dad's job transferred him back over here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. So we kind of discussed this off mic. You're still in school. You're a student, right? You just finished up finals. What was it like for you in high school? Like, did you have a trajectory into like acting? Were you already into performance arts and things like that?
So funny enough, growing up, I've always had a passion for acting, and I did a lot of my acting and theater in middle school and stuff like that. In high school, I was kind of, you know how high school goes. You want to be one of the popular kids and stuff like that. Unfortunately, theater was not the best route to become popular at my high school, and I grew up also playing soccer, and so I ended up focusing mostly on soccer in high school, and I went on to play Division 1 soccer and stuff like that. But I've always yearned, my passion for acting always yearned inside me, and I basically quit playing Division 1 soccer the first year to pursue my dreams of being an actor.
Oh wow! I mean, and which is soccer is not something that you hear often about.
Mhm.
Like especially coming from Texas, born and raised, or not born rather, but raised in Texas,
Mhm.
where you hear like all they talk about is football, right?
Mhm.
Again, like I went to school for 1 month, junior year, and I remember what classes were like. Nobody was paying attention in class. Everyone was talking about the upcoming game, you
Yeah.
know and so but so why soccer and not like kind of the obvious football, coming from Texas?
Right. Thankfully, my high school sucked at football. And
Okay.
so our fan base needed to latch on to some sport, and we were actually pretty good at soccer. And I ended up being varsity my freshman year. And so I kind of felt like maybe this was the route I was meant to be a part of or go down. And then senior year, I was captain. We had a huge fan base. We went to playoffs every year. And like I said, we sucked at football, so we had a huge crowd. So it kind of worked out for me popularity wise, but it was definitely time for me to move into my acting dream and leave my soccer journey in the past.
You mentioned back in middle school is when you got into some of the theater. What were some of your like early inspirations that made you even think about acting?
Wow, what a question. Honestly, growing up, I loved watching Disney Channel and I loved movies. And I was very big in, playing pretend. And I would actually create little movies and stuff like that with my friends, making myself the main character, of course, because I need the spotlight. And yeah, I've just always basically watching shows as a kid. I was always thought like, man, that must be so cool. I want to do that. I want to be a part of that. And obviously as a kid, I didn't have much say as to what I was able to do or how much money I was able to spend on this dream. So I would make little short films, kid short films on my own with my friends, and it kind of sparked that passion of mine.
You mentioned, kind of working on some projects. Something that I came across in my research here is that you were part of a project called Red Hood Resurrection.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw that there was some crowdfunding campaign that closed. And are you able to kind of like give any insight on the status of that project?
For sure. That's a cool project that you mentioned. So basically, a good friend of mine reached out who was also actually playing the character Red Hood about this project, and he knows that my dream role is to be Nightwing, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the whole Batman story and stuff like that, but basically his first Robin kind of takes his own path, wants to stop living in the shadow of Batman, and he becomes Nightwing, who leads the Teen Titans and stuff like that. And then he has a second Robin, becomes Red Hood, and it's kind of the story that revolves around that sort of side of the Robins and Batman and stuff like that. And I play Tim Drake in that one, the third Robin. And yeah, we got a lot of funding for it, and it's been a fun project. We got some episodes coming out. It's a fan film, but I kind of wanted to play that role so that I could get some footage as the character of Robin to potentially send out to some casting directors or directors that are looking for that role potentially in the future.
So are you more of would you say you're a DC guy or a Marvel?
I am a DC guy. I am a rare breed of the DC for sure.
Yeah, I kind of that's like it it's really difficult because like growing up like DC had the really cool movies, the original Batman movies. Superman started in the late 70s. So that's kind of where I was, but the Red Hood, the first time I heard about that character was the animated movie that came out I don't know how long ago.
Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood, that's the one.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
good. So
Such a great
good.
one.
And I feel that's kind of like that's when people are like, yeah, let's make this a real thing. And so like other projects started coming out. But when I saw that under your credit, and I watched the trailer, which people go to YouTube and check it out, Red Hood Resurrection. Yeah, it looks really good. And so like I couldn't find anything else other than that campaign had ended. So I was like, I want to see this. I want to check this out.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was amazing shooting with my good friend David Reardon. He's the one who plays Red Hood. And it was really cool to just encapsulate that character of Tim Drake. I didn't allow myself to play the role of Dick Grayson yet. I want to earn that one for when James Gunn is ready to start casting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we got some good footage, some emotional footage, some comedic moments, and some great fighting scenes here and there. Because I do Taekwondo and stuff like that, which was able to help transition into that film.
Nice. You mentioned some episodes are shot and possibly coming out here. Do you have an idea when so that people can kind of keep an eye on it?
I believe the director was saying early of next year, around
Okay,
February, March. Yeah.
nice, nice. Yeah, we follow each other, so I'm going to definitely keep an eye on that.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
appreciate it.
yeah. And so you're currently in school,
Mhm.
and you had been filming some stuff according to your IMDb. You have some credits underneath there. So like, how does something like Obliterated come across, so to speak, the table for you, while you're still in school?
Yeah, so thankfully, that was shot during the summer. So I did not have any school at that point in time. I received the audition from my agent, of course. And it when you get a Netflix audition, I freaked out. And to see that my penis shall be exposed, it was definitely an interesting role for me. Never done anything like that. But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity. I submitted the audition, didn't think much of it. I told myself, let it go. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And 2 weeks later, I get the call from my agent. And a week after that, I'm already headed to New Mexico to film. So it happened very rapid. So I'm very blessed. School did not come into factor with that.
That's awesome. So you mentioned like the nudity, right? What else were they asking? It may not have been like Jeremy, but what was it calling for this character?
Like the casting call?
Yeah.
Oh no, it said Jeremy Stripper guest star. And I'm like,
Okay. Okay.
amazing.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
There was no secret about it. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's like, no, you're gonna have a penis shown. You're gonna put whipped cream on it. I'm like, the whipped cream scene was actually part of my audition. So
and,
yeah,
and so did you self-tape for that? I'm assuming.
I did self-tape, yes.
Yeah, so if you're willing to share, what did you self-tape actually? What was it? The whipped cream scene? Was it a different scene with like Maya?
So I shot two scenes. The first scene was me coming up to Maya and Sharonda, basically saying, "Hello, ladies. I noticed you when I was on stage, flirting a little bit, trying to get my stripper dues, my money." And then the second scene was basically me comforting Maya once I put the whipped cream on my penis. And luckily enough, my acting coach, Alicia Dodson, great woman, great coach, had whipped cream at her disposal, which I was able to use during my audition, which I feel like really helps sell the part to them.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to commit, right? And
Exactly.
they were probably looking for somebody that's not shy, obviously.
I definitely did not look shy in the audition,
So
that's for sure.
I don't know if you've been hearing it, but people really like the conversation that Jeremy and Maya have in the back room because that's not something you'd expect in a strip club, right? Um, so if you can talk about like arriving on set, did you kind of create a backstory for Jeremy?
That's funny you asked that. I did create a backstory for Jeremy, which doesn't really come into play with his character, but basically he is a college student just looking to pay for his college tuition, and so he picks up stripping. Coming on the set, everyone was so nice. The director who directed that show was, I believe, Josh Held, and he is a great guy. He made me feel very comfortable on set. And so did my co-stars, especially Kimmy. She was very nice. Anytime I asked to rehearse or anything like that, she was more than willing. We even went into her trailer and rehearsed about like 20, 30 minutes before our scene. And I was nervous. I'm gonna be honest. I was very nervous. Funny enough, the scene that you're referring to was my first scene on set. And I was very nervous when shooting. I remember even trying to improv some lines, and Josh just goes like, let's just stick to the script, all right? I'm like, you're right. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't. I was getting very angsty and stuff like that. Very excited to be on there, but yeah, I'm glad that that's what people remembered about me. That's really cool.
Yeah, did you because like one of the lines that I really like is actually before that sequence as well. It's when he tries to get her to go back to the room and have her share more of her crazy like days at MIT or whatever. In your mind, was Jeremy also kind of a book smart himself, and this is just like, well, I know I look good, Like this is how I'm gonna make money on the side for school.
Honestly, at that point in time, the way I was playing it was that Jeremy noticed Maya while on stage, and he could sense how infatuated she was with him. So he was just trying to take advantage of that infatuation. It wasn't until she started opening up was when Jeremy kind of realized, like, oh my God, she doesn't see me as just this piece of meat that's showing her body to her. She actually feels comfortable enough to kind of open up with me. And that's kind of what drove my character to build this relationship with Maya, that she is human and not just another client of mine.
Right. Yeah, I like that. So then we go to, the back room, and then you guys have that at the moment. Now, can you talk about like the intimacy coordinator? I believe her name is Christine. Can you talk about like kind of just filming preparation and her involvement there as well?
Well, she is a trooper. She is so nice. I was very willing to do a lot of things because I was just so excited. I was like, it's Netflix. I'm ready to, you know, show it all. But there was one time that I felt a bit uncomfortable during the strip show, which unfortunately a lot was cut. I wish they showed a lot more of it, but it was like a whole like 10-minute routine that me and the coordinator put together. There's a time where I'm basically grinding on the floor, right? Doing the worm a little bit. And I kind of just felt a breeze in my, the area in between my cheeks.
Okay.
And I kind of asked her, I was like, hey, look, like I don't really feel comfortable being that exposed in my back area. Is there any way you could do something about that, or maybe tell them not to shoot there? And she was such a trooper. She's like, I can tape it for you. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. So she got a large piece of tape and basically taped that area. It was covered. And yeah, thankfully they didn't show any of that area. But she was very willing to sacrifice her self to basically do the job of covering my private area.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it just felt breezy and you didn't want it exposed, and she had something to actually cover it up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've heard about like, areolas, there's like pasties and things like that, and for the male front. I asked because like this is such a like a newer profession, intimacy coordinator, and like I've never covered any project that has had things like obliterated, right? So
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this stuff, because like this isn't stuff that isn't really out there and not talked about often enough. Having the actor be comfortable in what they're doing. So you said it was like kind of like a 10-minute routine. You talk about the worm. What were some other parts of this routine?
um let's see. So they actually had a whole mic system when preparing, and they asked the extras to be very rowdy and stuff when I came out. And so some guy in the mic goes, and here comes Jeremy. And I kind of bust through the curtains and do this whole routine. I'm on the floor, I'm like fake strumming a guitar. I play a little bit more with the apple, stuff like that. And I remember after the first take of that, the once the music stopped and the Josh yelled cut, I just remember everyone was silent, no one made a noise, and he just goes, loved it, amazing. And then he's looked around the crowd, and I'm looking at all their faces, and it's just a bunch of extras going, what in the hell did I sign up for? And it was very funny. And then the second time I came out, they had so much energy, they were loving it, and it helped me feel more confident when performing. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting routine, interesting scenario, interesting crowd. It was awesome though. I loved it.
So the extras, so they're just like kind of just like focused on you because you're up on stage. Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much. Um, so let me see, after the dance sequence, Jeremy comes down, introduces himself to Maya. Sharonda's there as well. Oh, the apple. Where does that come from? Is
So
it?
basically, I start off in this jock outfit. I'm like the football player jock. That's the costume that Jeremy is wearing. And so he's in the middle of school. So this it's a school set on top of the stripping set. And so basically on the chalkboard, I forgot what it said. I think maybe it said bad boy, bad boy. And then there's an apple there because teachers carry around apples, and basically the routine kind of instructs that I don't give a shit about the teachers or what they think about me. So I bite the apple and I toss it. And yeah, that was just part of the routine. Something a little fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love that sequence. It's hilarious. You think Kimmy's gonna catch it, then it gets intercepted. So
Yeah.
so funny. Um, and so now in the back room, there's so much going on. You have like the team is also arriving at the same time, looking for Maya, and then I think McKnight. This is where like Janet is also like all over him. Um, the whipped cream stuff. Like, what was there? A lot of different takes. Was that kind of a one-time go? How was filming that?
So that was the first scene of the day that day. And so they did many different takes of me pulling down my pants. I started off fast to try to do a little more comedic. Then they did one more sensual. I think it was about 13 takes of me just pulling my pants down. And I was like, man, this feels like a workout, just pushing it complete. And then yeah, then the whipped cream uh take came and I landed it first try. I was very lucky on that. And then perfect cut.
But like over a dozen takes for the pants. That's funny.
Yeah. What are the
Yeah.
chances?
Um, we don't get a chance to see like what happens with Jeremy after like chaos, like chaos ensues and all that stuff. I'm assuming he's like, oh, well, I'm ducking out of here. But can you talk about like, were you even there for like all the fighting right outside of the booth?
Yeah, so I was there in the background. They wanted to make sure that I was still in the background, so I got to see all the fighting. And then it kind of leaves Jeremy's story to a mystery. We don't really know what happens to Jeremy next, or how he felt about the scenario, or how he felt about being lied to by Maya, because she's a secret agent, and he didn't know that. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe season two there will be more on the story of Jeremy and the relationship between him and Maya. Who knows? I don't know.
I was about to say like I feel they exchanged numbers at some point.
If they didn't exchange numbers, she knows where to find him. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get ready to wrap up, can you, if you have any, do you have any other behind the scenes stories, interacting with any of the other cast members that were on set? Any shenanigans that were going on?
Hmm. Let me try and think here. I mean, I loved my cast. I became really close with Janet and Cheryl. They were very nice, played by Naomi Grossman and Kelly Pendergraft, I believe.
That
They were
sounds
very,
right. Yes.
yeah, they were lovely people. And they had a lot of insight on acting, and then they gave me a lot of tips, which I kind of kind of journaled down, and then took their wisdom and I applied it to my teachings of acting and stuff like that. So they were amazing. Kimi, who plays Maya, she was amazing. We had a great time on set and joked around a lot. We were kind of closer in age, so I got along with her a lot. And she got to see me naked, so we had we had a great bond session over that for sure. Uh, but shenanigans and stuff like that, everyone was mostly just kind. We may have tossed the apple around here and there, but other than that, nothing too crazy.
Yeah. There's this story of the movie Titanic, right, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and you often hear about like, well, when they first met, Kate Winslet, she was like, well, I'm just gonna flash him because like I have the scene where I have to lay in front of him naked, so just get it over with. Well, was there any icebreakers for you and Kimmy, or was it like, like just when you guys filmed that was it?
That's funny you mentioned that. So like I said, we rehearsed in her trailer before my scene, and before we even started, I was like, you want to see it?" And she's because I'm already wearing the robe, I'm already naked underneath, and she's like, "Yeah, let's just get it over with." And I go, she goes, "Huh? Yeah, nice cock." I'm like, "Thanks." Anyways, let's go over our scenes for a little bit. And she was a trooper. She was awesome. It was fun. We joked around a lot about
You
it.
guys totally had the Titanic moment. You
Yeah,
guys, you guys did it.
we did it. We did it. We got it done. We got it over with.
Yeah, that is funny. I feel like I had the Naomi. That her Janet is so funny.
So
I
fun.
I would have loved just to see like in the background at some point, like them walking out, like arm linked or something. Just her delivery of shit, you're hot or whatever.
She is so talented. She's so awesome, and she is so funny. She is just as
Yeah.
funny a person.
Yeah, she really commands the screen when she's on, and I'm just like, oh, give me more Janet. She's so funny. Johan, did you if you welcome the interaction? I know you mentioned your DMs, but where can people follow you if they want to keep an eye on the upcoming the Red Hood Resurrection project or anything else that you have in the works?
Yeah, with this SAG strike coming to an end, there's definitely some potential new things that are coming along the way, and can't speak anything on any projects yet, but hopefully you'll be able to see more of me in future television shows and maybe more of Jeremy in season 2. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. But you can follow me on Instagram. It's Johann Fitch, JohannFitch, Fitch like Abercrombie. And you'll be able to follow me and see the rest of my story there and the rest of my acting journey.
Yeah, there we go. And for those that are tuning in and don't already, you can follow me on Instagram at Obliterated Companion, companion spelled with the K. And I'm on Twitter /X, whatever you call it, at Obliterated Pod. If you want to give me a follow there, I'm somewhat active and obviously share everything that we're creating here at the podcast. So, Johann, I want to thank you so much for giving me your time, giving us the behind the scenes stories, and giving us a little insight on how the cookie was made, so to speak. So, or the apple's thrown, whatever analogy you want to use.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.